wet like that. Then I just put the masonite bat on there, squeeze it on, and it's stuck. Get it a little wet. So this is my style of production mug making. And when I really get cranking, I can make about one every 3 minutes. One of the keys is having your tools all, laid out and having everything convenient, so you don't have to be getting up and down. And if anybody wants to, you guys, I didn't talk about my wheel yet.
Please
but
do.
This wheel is, I love this creaky old antique wheel.
Yeah.
It's called a Denton Bars side treadle. It was designed by Bernard Leach, and it was popularized in America by a guy up in Wisconsin named Warren McKenzie, who studied under Leach.
His grandson is in state college right now, Simon, and
Leach?
Yeah, he is remaking them and has an Amish guy do the woodworking, and they are beautiful.
So usually the first mug I make of the day is kind of small, and this one I can tell is small. It's thicker. Yeah, I got this wheel when I was in high school, and it was already old then. It came from DePauw University. My parents taught at DePauw, and there was a potter there that they were friends with, who was one of my mentors, Richard Peeler. So there's one mug made.
So you throw your disc of clay to be the outside diameter or the outside dimension of your masonite bat, so that you don't have to mess around with centering everything.
Now what?
No, what? I mean, obviously this is centered, but the outside diameter of that is equal to the outside dimension.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that.
All right.
Pretty
That's
close.
What I want to know. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about, because I'm doing that and I'm trying to figure out how best to get things centered efficiently.
I didn't do a very good job on that mug. I'll see if I can get this one now.
Yeah, it looks like crap, man.
Yeah, really? I think I just throw it away.
I can see it's a little kind of small. One thing I like to do when I'm making a lot of mugs, I mean, it can be boring doing nothing but making mugs, but I try to push the limits of the clay and get it, just to see what I can push the clay towards. And I like it when the mugs get a little bit out of control and look kind of wobbly.
Mugs gone wild.
The wild side of mug throwing. By God. Let's go.
I'll try to get this one. I mean, but then there's the risk. Sometimes it gets so out of control that you can't use it anymore.
He's using a knuckle mic.
Is he?
Oh,
Yeah,
there
he's
you go.
using the knuckle.
Yeah, I knuckle it up on the first.
Yeah. Tell Jim Kemp that. Tell him.
But then I use my knuckle on the first, then I use my middle fingertip on the subsequent pulls. Okay, this one's going to be a little taller.
What does Jim Kemp have to say about knuckling?
You shouldn't do it. You just use your fingertips.
What did he say?
He prefers not to. He prefers to use his fingers
What's
I
the
do
difference?
use my
You do use your
I use my fingertips mostly. I use the knuckle on the first pull because
It's nice for an aggressive pull, I think.
Yeah, for a first pull and getting it moving more than once.
Especially too large amounts of play.
Does the 58 have grog in it?
a little bit.
Yeah, not as bad as the 48 though. 48's a little heavier.
See that mug's a little wobbly. You don't want water to pool in the bottom of your pots for very long. So I always, when I'm making mugs this quickly, I only have to dry it out once at the end. And this is also compressing the bottom. I press down a little bit. And then I like to finish all of my pots up with this. This is a tool made by Jepson. They make some really nice, I've got a couple others, Jepson tools that I use, but I use this one for all the pots to give this kind of finishing touch close to the rim. And I think it gives all of my pottery kind of a cohesive nature, so it, you know, you can look at it and say, oh, that's a Dave Berg pot. It's like a line.
The guy we had in...
Yeah, now you can see the difference in the size of those two mugs.
Yeah.
Steve?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You could take a bamboo handle, you should have an old brush that didn't work, cut that in half, and then just make, you know, little shapes like that, and then with bamboo, it holds up. No problem.
Yeah, I think these Jepson tools are made out of bamboo. Most of those wood tools are bamboo. So I'm giving it the knuckle treatment here. And like I said, once I get cranking on these mugs, I can make one about every 3 minutes. I meant to print this out for you guys, and I'd forgotten, but you can look it up online when you find it. What goes into making a mug? Has anybody ever read that before? Because yeah, a lot of at art fairs and stuff, people will come up to you and say, why do these mugs cost $18?
I think I have read that now that you say it.
And this paper, it goes into such detail of making a mug, including driving to pick up the clay, you know, just everything. Working on the computer to do bills, and it's got like 40 steps into making a mug. And so yeah, you're supposed to just hand. This is why it costs so much.
Yeah, here you go.
Because when you tell people, because they always ask you, well, how long does it take you to throw a mug? Well, it takes me 3 minutes, you know, to actually throw the mug. And then you gotta put the handle on, you gotta trim it, you gotta fire it, bisque, and then you gotta mix your glazes up. I mean, so I can make maybe if I just sat down, I could probably make 20 or 30 mugs in 1 hour. But then after doing everything else, you know, attaching the handle and firing it and everything, it probably comes out to be more like 4 mugs an hour.
And then there's the years of experience behind all of that.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to make that? 25 years.
Yeah.
they start using it.
Oh, yeah. But this is sweet. Much sweeter.
Okay, I'll just make one more here.
Now, I'm noticing you're not cutting around the bottom, nor are you wiring them now.
Yeah, no, I don't wire the mugs. They pop off of these.
Masonite?
Yeah, once they get to the
No
chocolate
kidding.
hard. Yeah, once they get really pretty dry, they'll pop right off, and the bottom is already really smooth from the masonite. And then yeah, you said that reminded me when you said I don't trim around the bottom. That's a fairly recent. Watch your leg there. I'm afraid I'm going to kick you.
Well, I'll get out of the way real fast if you do. But yeah.
And I generally use quite a bit of water when I'm throwing because I like the clay to. It seems like Amico, when it comes straight out of the bag, it's too soft for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to.
Don't make the clay, okay? I just work there. All right, calm down.
Are you working at Amico?
I was trying to keep that hush. No, I work for the.
Well, I know how you feel. I work for the evil pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I need to go to Target later and pick up my prescription.
You're why my Ritalin $80.
Well,
Them darn mugs.
Yeah, Lily doesn't make Ritalin.
Do you find, with your personality lending towards the scientific side, with everything being exact and measured and that sort of thing, that encourages the pottery side to let the mug be a little more free-spirited, or?
I don't know. I don't think about it.
Exactly.
I mean, you're right. It is different working in the lab where you have to be really precise and accurate. In pottery, I can loosen up a little bit.
And no matter what you're throwing, you always use the masonite bats on the clay cookie?
Yeah.
Do you make your own bats, or?
I made these masonite ones. I bought these ones down here, the round ones.
Where do you buy the round ones made?
I think I just got those at Axner also. But I think Amico, I'm not sure if the Amico sells the masonite ones. They might make plastic or...
We do the plastabats, but then we also get in...
Those are those Wonder Bats, right?
Yeah, Wonder
Aren't they
Bats.
Masonite?
Yes, and they're made by... Oh, where are those guys out of? Yeah, those aren't bad. They also sell the bat, the whole bat with the square cutout. So you can leave the bat on there